Hello and very welcome everyone to this particular session of the current affairs that we are discussing the current affairs of 22nd of October 2024. So let's start our session and let's see that what are the things we need to see. So before we start, these are the topics we are going to cover. I have some international news, some national and state news, banking, defense, science and tech. Then I have sports, important days, ranks and reports, summits and conference, appointments and resignation. And at last, we will summarize all the topics. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So the first news that we have in today's current affairs is the Hurricane Oscar hit Cuba, triggers protest amid economic crisis. So first of all, you need to understand that what is hurricane. Hurricane, you can directly compare with a tropical cyclone type thing. The type of cyclones or tropical cyclone that occur in the Atlantic Ocean region are named as hurricanes or tornadoes. And when we are talking about Atlantic Ocean, now you get to know that Cuba is a country that exists in the southern side near the Gulf of Mexico, and it is near the Atlantic Ocean. The famous Fidel Castro was from Cuba, who died in 2016. Hurricane Oscar made landfall in the Bahamas before crossing Cuba's eastern coast, causing at least 6 deaths and widespread destruction. So, landfall, there's a word you can see in this, that is landfall. What is the meaning of landfall? The meaning of landfall is that particularly when the tropical cyclone that has been generated in the ocean, it falls on the land. That is called, that situation, that phenomenon is called landfalling. And after landfalling, it creates devastation or destruction in any particular area. So for this purpose, the landfall word is used. And when it falls into Bahamas before crossing the Cuban eastern coast, causing at least 6 deaths and widespread destruction. The storm triggered power outages that halted daily activities, leading to protests in neighborhoods like Santos, Suarez, and Central Havana. So recently, because of these hurricanes, the particular outrages happened, and because of that, daily activities also hampered, and that is why the particular people got so much worsened that they started protesting. Residents banged pots and pans and blocked the street in protest over the water shortages. The blackout followed energy issues that have persisted since Hurricane Lan in 2022. So in 2022, there was another hurricane that was named Lan, and now another hurricane that came in Cuba is Oscar. Pakistan limits Chief Justice terms to 3 years. So in Pakistan, which recently got an IMF loan of US dollar 7 billion, they have now enacted the constitution. They have made changes in the constitution. 26th amendment was made and limiting the Chief Justice tenure to 3 years. If we compare it to the India, and in India, the Chief Justice can be there till the age of 65. And majorly, most of the Chief Justice in our country majorly has more than approximately 1 or up to 2 years of term. So we need to discuss. A special commission was established for appointing the top judge from 3 senior most Supreme Court judges. The amendment received President Asif Ali Zardari assent after being passed by both houses of the parliament. The legislation prevents Justice Masoor Ali Saha from succeeding current Chief Justice Qazi Faiz, who is set to retire on 25th of October. So remember that who has been appointed as the new Chief Justice, particularly the particular was Qazi Faiz Isha. And it prevents the legislation prevents Justice Masoor Ali Shah from succeeding to this particular post. Global public debt set to exceed 100 trillion warns IMF. So recently a report has been published. Under that, International Monetary Fund released a report indicating that world's total public debt is poised to surpass 100 trillion dollar this year for the first time. So public debt means the particular type of burden of loan on the public, on the people of the country. So IMF warns that this figure may rise even more rapidly than previously anticipated. The increase is driven by political sentiment favoring increased spending and growing borrowing needs associated with the slow economic growth. So this we can see that recently in particular days the inflation is rising and people are spending more and the particular needs of the borrowing is also increasing, but the economic growth is not anticipating with that. So because of that, this burden has increased. So report highlights the urgent need for fiscal reforms to manage the escalating debt levels. So for that purpose, IMF has issued a particular warning. IOCL and Nepal Oil Corporation signed business-to-business framework agreement to develop petroleum infrastructure in Nepal. So recently on 3rd of October, Indian Oil Corporation Limited and Nepal Oil Corporation signed a business-to-business framework agreement for developing petroleum infrastructure in Nepal. Okay, so remember that Nepal is collaborating with which particular oil corporation limited of India, that is IOCL. 50-kilometer petroleum pipeline will be constructed from Siliguri, that is in Assam, that is in West Bengal in India, to Charali in Jhapa, Nepal. The state-of-the-art terminal will be built in Charali to enhance storage and distribution capabilities. A 62-kilometer pipeline will connect Amelekganj to Lothar in Chitwan, Nepal, with a modern terminal at Lothar having a storage capacity of 91,900 kiloliters. So the particular pipeline will be 62 kilometer long and particularly carrying 91,900 kiloliters in that pipeline. The agreement was signed in New Delhi in the presence of senior officials from both the countries. So remember, IOCL and Nepal Oil Corporation signing deal for the transfer of oil from India to Nepal and connecting from Siliguri, that is in West Bengal, to Charali in Nepal. Udan's 8th anniversary, a transformative journey in Indian aviation. So recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi marked 8th anniversary of the Udan scheme. Udan scheme is dedicated to the normal people, to the middle class people of this world, of this country. And under this scheme, the objective is to particularly avail all the people in this country, either from middle class or lower middle class, so that they can avail the transport facility of flights. So in October 2016, Udan aimed to make air travel affordable for common man and boost regional connectivity. The Prime Minister highlighted the increase in airports and air routes, emphasizing the scheme's impact on trade, commerce, and regional growth. The Union Minister Amit Shah lauded Udan's success in making air travel accessible in underserved regions, noting its role in unblocking India's growth potential. Just to make your memory revise, recently they have also created or inaugurated 3 new regional airports in places like in Uttar Pradesh. They have opened in Saharanpur. Cabinet approvals on 16th of October. So recently, the Union Cabinet, led by Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, approved several schemes and projects. So after every some days, a particular cabinet meeting held, and under that, all the ministers, state ministers, and secretaries were be sitting like this. And in that particular meeting, all the things that have been said for the last, or the agreements that have been done for the last some days, are being approved. So under this, the first thing, an additional 3% installment of dearness allowance for the central government employees and dearness relief for the pensioners are sanctioned. Varanasi Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay multi-tracking project by the Ministry of Railways estimated at rupees 2642 crore. 35,000 crores were allocated to the continuation of Pradhan Mantri Annadata Sanrakshan Abhiyan scheme to support farmers and control price volatility. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approved an increase in the minimum support price for all mandated Rabi crops for the marketing season 2025-2026. So some of the very important, like MSP has been given to the Rabi crops, and particular railway, Varanasi Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay multi-tracking project by Ministry of Railway, and 3% DNS allowance have got approval. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited becomes the 14th Maharatna CPSC, that is the Central Public Service Enterprise. So Hindustan Aeronautics Limited was upgraded from Navratan to Maharatna status under the Department of Public enterprise. I hope you all know that Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is particular company or enterprise which works in particularly developing indigenous aerospace technology, either engine or new type of aircrafts and helicopters. Upgraded was based on recommendation from the Inter-Ministerial Committee and Apex Committee led by Cabinet Secretary. The new status enhances HAL's operational autonomy and financial powers. So it will provide them a particular autonomy in operations that they can particularly themselves operate some or they can take some decisions in the operation thing and in the financial thing. Following investments up to 15% of its net worth in projects and up to 5,000 crore in foreign ventures without government approval. So I hope you are able to understand that particularly they can invest up to 15% of its net worth in projects without any approval from the government, and also 5,000 crore in foreign ventures that we are particularly dealing with the foreign countries. HAL was established in 1940 in Bengaluru, and it's headquartered in Bengaluru and is led by Chairman Managing Director Dr. D.K. Sunil. So remember that it has been given the status of Maharatna. Discovery of the 16th century copper plates in Tiruvallur district. So recently, a significant archaeological discovery was made at the Sri Singeswarar temple in Mapedu village, Tiruvallur district. The officials from Hindu religions and charitable endowments department found copper plates inscription dating back to 16th century CE. The copper plates were strung together with a ring featuring the seal of the Vijayanagar kingdom. So basically, they are belonging to the Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire came into being in 1336 during the time when the Tughlaq dynasty was there in Delhi Sultanate, and this particular kingdom was started by Harihar and Bukka from the Sangam dynasty. And later on in 1565, during the Battle of Talikota, it got devastated or destroyed. Archaeological Survey of India confirmed that the inscription engraved in 1513 during the reign of King Krishnadev Rai are written in Sanskrit during the Nandi Nagari script. So Krishnadev Rai was one of the most famous king of the Vijayanagar Empire, and you must have heard about the stories of Krishnadev Rai and Tenali Raman, and particularly these plates are belonging to his era only. New Citizen Sentinel app unveiled in Kerala for traffic monitoring. Recently, Kerala Motor Vehicle Department launched Citizens Sentinel mobile application to enhance traffic law enforcement. This particular application empowers citizens to actively participate in ensuring road safety. Users can report traffic violations in real time by capturing photos and videos of infractions. So particularly to create a particular type of environment in which particular person can feel safe in road. For that purpose, this thing has been used, and under this, the particular cameras and all these will be implemented and installed to see the real time of capturing photos and videos, so that if any kind of accident happens, then it can be detected. The uploaded content will be reviewed by the enforcement officials for appropriate action. So remember the Sentinel app unveiled in Kerala for traffic monitoring. Yogi Adityanath rolls out the key welfare schemes for police personnel on Police Smriti Divas. So recently, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, unveiled series of welfare schemes for police personnel. Some schemes dedicated to the police officials. His scheme include substantial 70% increase in uniform allowance and 25% hike in housing allowance for constables residing in barracks. So two things have been included. One is that 70% increase in the uniform allowance. That means the expenditure that a particular personnel is making in maintaining the uniform, 70% of that will be given by government, and 25% of hike in the housing allowance to the constables who cannot get the government quarters. Now they will be getting 25% hike in the housing allowance. These measures were announced during his address at the Police Smriti Divas in Lucknow. The event was held in honor of police personnel who have laid down their lives in the line of duty. Mission Basundhara 3.0, Assam's push for indigenous land rights. So recently, Assam Chief Minister Himant Biswa Sarma, he launched Mission Basundhara 3.0. What is the purpose? The launch was held in Srimanta Sankardev Kalakshetra in Guwahati. This ambitious initiative was aimed to empower indigenous communities by providing them with formal land rights. The program ensures greater security and recognition for their land holding. So this has all been done under the Mission Basundhara 3.0. MP to declare Ratpani WSLS as the 8th Tiger Reserve in near Bhopal. So recently you must have seen that in Bihar, the second Tiger Reserve was dedicated also, which is going to be under development after the Valmiki Tiger Reserve. Now another Tiger Reserve in MP to declared Ratapani WLS as the 8th Tiger Reserve. So State Wildlife Board of Madhya Pradesh approved declaration of Ratpani Wildlife Sanctuary near Bhopal as the 8th Tiger Reserve. The recommendation will be forwarded to the government of India for approval. Okay. So particular objective will be started by state government, as this all is under the state government, but the final approval will be coming from government of India. The proposed tiger reserve will cover area of 1271 square kilometer, including both Ratpani Wildlife Sanctuary, Singhori Wildlife Sanctuary. Total area, out of the total area of 763 square kilometer will be the core area of tigers, while 507 square kilometer will act as buffer zone. So whenever you go to the national park, you will see three types of areas: the core zone, the buffer zone. Core zone is that particular area where the particular tourists are not allowed. That particular area is only dedicated for statistical data and observation and research. Okay, only these type of people and the officials from that forest can go. But in buffer areas, the tourism and other type of things are allowed. But remember that in wildlife sanctuary, normal habitation can occur of the people, but in tiger reserve and national park, no habitation is allowed. Ratpani Wildlife Sanctuary currently spans over 823 square kilometer in Raisin and Sihor district and houses 56 tigers and 70 leopards across the according to the 2022 tiger census. ADB approves USD 42 million loan for coastal protection ecosystem in Maharashtra. So recently Asian Development Bank approved 42 million loan to enhance coastal and riverbank protection ecosystem. Maharashtra Sustainable Climate Resilient Coastal Protection and Management Project will implement solutions like offshore reefs, sheet piles, beach nourishment, and vegetation planting. The project aims to boost fisheries and tourism while promoting capacity building for stakeholders on gender equality and social inclusion. So remember that Asian Development Bank, headquartered in Manila, Philippines, is approving US dollar 42 million loan for the coastal protection ecosystem in Maharashtra. ADB will support Maharashtra Maritime Board and project built on the ADB Finance Sustainable Coast Protection Management Investment Program. NABARD released second All India Rural Finance Inclusion Survey (NAFIS). So NABARD, that is the bank that is dedicated for the agricultural development in our country, results to the second All India Rural Financial Inclusion Survey. The survey, based on the data from 1 lakh rural household, provides insight into the economic financial aspect. The average monthly income of households increased by 57.6% over 5 years, and average monthly expenditure of rural households also saw a significant rise. NABARD was established under the NABARD Act of 1981. It operates under the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance. This particular department is dedicated for the development of rural areas and agriculture. IREDA received DIPAM approval to set up subsidiary to handle retail B2B biz in renewable energy segment. So Indian Renewable Energy Department Agency Limited received approval from the Department of Investment and Public Asset Management to set up whole-owned subsidiary. The subsidiary will handle retail and business in renewable energy sectors. So now they have got the particular approval that they can particularly see the handling and retailing and the business activities of the particular sectors which are involved in renewable energy sector. It will focus on emerging RE sectors such as electric vehicles, energy outreach, green technologies, energy efficiency. Subsidiary will manage retail business under key government schemes like PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana and PM Kusum. IREDA, non-banking financial institution, was established in 1987 and is headquartered in New Delhi. Tata AMC launched India's first index fund based on Nifty Capital Market Index. Tata Asset Management Company launched the Tata Nifty Capital Market Index Fund, India's first index fund to invest in companies from the Nifty Capital Market Index. So it is India's indigenous, or you can say the India's own index fund. The fund will invest in maximum of 20 stocks from the Nifty 500 index, representing various capital market businesses. New fund offer will run from 7 to 21st of October and reopen for the subscription on or before 30th October. The investment minimum investment is rupees 5,000 with an exit load of 0.25%. Okay, so remember just one thing, that Tata AMC launched India's first index fund based on Nifty Capital Market Index. India became the fourth country to cross $7 billion in foreign reserves. So recently, I hope you know, we discussed about it. So remember, just to revise, Reserve Bank of India's foreign exchange reserves surpassed $700 billion, and now for the first time since September 2024. And now India has become the fourth country overall to do that. So the milestone makes India fourth country after China, Japan, and Switzerland. Remember, China, Japan, and Switzerland. Foreign exchange reserve increased by USD 12.59 billion to hit an all-time high USD 704 billion in the weekend of September 2024. The foreign current asset, a large component of overall reserves, gained by $10.646 billion. The increase in reserve is due to several factors, including foreign inflow this year, primarily driven by the investment in local bonds. So recently the number of local bonds have been increased, and that is why we can also see that particular increment is there in the reserves, in the increment of the reserves in the foreign investment. CCS gave approval to establish new missile testing range in Nagayalanka, Andhra Pradesh. So Cabinet Committee on Security, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved the establishment of new missile testing range, Nagayalanka village, Krishna district, Andhra Pradesh. So particularly there is an approval of creating a new type of missile testing center in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. We already have a particular island that is called Wheeler, that was known as Wheeler Island, also known as Abdul Kalam Island for testing, but now another testing center at Krishna district, Andhra Pradesh. The range will be used for test firing various tactical missile system developed by DRDO. CCS also approved purchase of 31 Predator long endurance armed drones from USA, two nuclear submarines to be built by ATV Project India Limited by the Indian Navy. And also please remember that under Arihant class submarine, INS Agrivat was also inducted into Indian Navy. DRDO established 1958 in the R&D wing of the Ministry of Defence, headquartered in New Delhi, chaired by Dr. Samir Kamath. INS Samarthak, first ship of L&T multi-purpose vessel, launched in Chennai. So L&T, Larsen and Toubro launched the first multi-purpose vessel named INS Samarthak from L&T Katupali shipyard near Chennai. The vessel, launched by Sashi Tripathi, the President Navy Wives Welfare Association, wife of Mr. Dinesh Tripathi, who is the Chief of Naval Staff, is designed for multifaceted operational roles. MPV is 106 meter long, you can see in this photo, and 16.8 meter wide, capable of reaching top speed of 15 knots. Nautical mile is a particular measurement unit used in seas for measuring distance and speed. It is designed to tow other vessels, launch and recover training targets, and use uncrewed autonomous vehicles for surveillance. So for all these purposes, this has been launched. What is the name? INS Samarthak. MPV will also serve as a trial platform for testing indigenous weapons and sensor under development. So for testing and to particularly help in logistic things and to carry the vessels, this INS Samarthak will be used. It is made by L&T. ANRF launches first two initiatives. The Anusandhan National Research Foundation, launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Early Career Research Grant, and Mission of Advancement in High Impact Areas, Electric Vehicles mission, have been launched. The aim to bridge gap between academic research, industrial application, fostering innovation, and scientific excellence. So what we need to do is we need to get the education about these things, then implement those things in industrial areas, also to do something in innovation and scientific excellence. The PMECRG supports early career researchers with flexible budget to enhance India's scientific innovation. ANRF was established under the ANRF Act of 2023 within the Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology. IRENA's report 2023 was a record-breaking milestone for solar power generation. So recently, International Renewable Energy Agency reported 347 gigawatt of photovoltaic capacity were added globally in 2023. A special thanks to ISA International Solar Alliance. Recently, 101st member has been added as Nepal. China alone contributed 63% to the PV capacities. Year 2023 saw the largest ever increase in jobs in renewable energy sector. Globally, 7.1 million jobs were created in solar PV in 2023. IRENA, headquartered in Abu Dhabi, UAE, please remember this thing, was established in 2011 and is led by Director General Francisco La Camera. So another is International Solar Alliance that is situated in Gurugram, Haryana. Railway triumphs over the Indian Oil to clinch women's hockey title. So Railway Sport Promotion Board won the Senior Women Interdepartmental National Hockey Championship, they defeated Indian Oil 3-1 in the final. So Railway has defeated Indian Oil by 3-1 held at Major Dhyanchand National Stadium. Indian Oil scored first in the 18th minute through Deepika, but Vandana Kataria equalized for Railway just a minute later. Railway took the lead in the fourth quarter with captain Navneet Kaur. Remember who is the captain? Navneet Kaur. Scoring crucial goal, followed by final strike and Salema Tete, who was named player of the match. So recently, Railway triumphed over Indian Oil to clinch women's hockey title. World Day Against the Death Penalty. So 10th of October is dedicated as Mental Health Day. Also, it is commemorated as Against the Death Penalty to raise awareness about the death penalty and advocate for its abolition. The 22nd World Day Against Death Penalty in 2024 focuses on the theme Death Penalty and Safety. The day was initiated by the World Coalition Against the Death Penalty with support from organizations like Amnesty International based in London, United Nations and European Union. The first World Day Against Death Penalty was observed in 2003. Amnesty International, established in 1961, is headquartered in London and led by Secretary General Agnes Callamard. 129 million Indian lives in extreme poverty in 2024 West Bengal World Bank report. So World Bank Poverty, Prosperity and Planet Report 2024 Pathways Out of the Poly Crisis reveals that 129 million Indians lives in extreme poverty, surviving on less than rupees 180 per day. So that is the phenomena, that is the bar of extreme poverty, who are surviving in less than 180 rupees in a day. So marks significant decline from 31 million in 1990, but challenge remains due to population growth and high poverty threshold. So in 1990, this data was for 31 million, but now it has decreased, but still a particular point to worry. Extreme poverty in India is expected to drop below 3% by the end of the decade. This significant decrease of 38 million individuals in poverty in 2021 attributed to GDP per capita growth. So the result why this decrement we can see is because the GDP has seen an increase over per capita growth. Globally, approximately 700 million people live in less than $2.15 per day, with sub-Saharan Africa accounting 67% of these in extreme poverty. 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas to be held in Bhubaneswar. So Odisha is set to host 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas from January 8th to 10th next year. As we know that Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is commemorated for the arrival of Mahatma Gandhi back to India on 15th of January 1915. And to commemorate that event, every year Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is being commemorated. The event will take place in capital city Bhubaneswar in Janta Maidan. Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi has approved the proposal submitted by the Union Ministry of External Affairs. The event celebrated the contribution of the Indian diaspora and is a prestigious global gathering. Vikram Devdutt take charge as the coal secretary. So Vikram Devdutt, 1993 batch IS officer from the Egmont cadre. Egmont cadre means Andaman, Nicobar, Goa, and Union Territory. Okay, so from these areas, cadre has officially assumed the role of coal secretary. He previously served as the Director General of the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, and Dutt took over from V.L. Kanta Rao, who held the additional charge after Amrit Lal Meena appointed as the Chief Secretary of Bihar. So recently Amrit Lal Meena appointed as the Chief Secretary of Bihar, and now Dutt will take over from this charge. With India's power demanded project to grow by 6 to 7%, Dutt faces significant challenge by enhancing coal production to meet the rising need of power and industrial sector. Remember Vikram Devdutt as the new coal secretary. ECI appoints Ajay Kumar Singh as Jharkhand's new DGP ahead of election. Ajay Kumar Singh, senior IPS officer, appointed as the Director General of Jharkhand. His selection came from the panel of 3 IPS officers recommended by state government. Appointment follows the Election Commission order to immediate removal of acting DGP Anurag Gupta. Singh's appointment is seen as a strategic move ahead of the upcoming elections in the state. So let's revise that what we have learned. So Hurricane Oscar hits Cuba. Pakistan limits Chief Justice term for 2 to 3 years. Global public debt to increase exceed $100 trillion. IMF, Indian Monetary Fund warned. IOCL, Nepal Oil Corporation signed business to business framework agreement. Udan 8th anniversary, a transformative journey in Indian aviation. Cabinet approval on 16th of October 2024. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the 14th Maharatna Central Public Service Enterprise. Discovery of the 16th century copper plates from the Vijayanagar Kingdom. New Citizens Sentinel app unveiled in Kerala. Yogi Adityanath rules out key welfare scheme for police personals on Police Smriti Divas. Mission Basundhara 3.0 Assam push for indigenous land rights. MP to declare Ratpani as the 8th tiger reserve near Bhopal. ADB approves USD 42 million loan for coastal protection. NABARD released second All India Rural Financial Inclusion Survey. IREDA received DIPAM approval. Tata AMC launched India's first index fund-based Nifty Capital. India becomes 4th country to cross $700 million foreign reserve. CCS gave approval to establish new missile testing range in Andhra Pradesh. INS Samarthak, first ship of L&T multi-purpose vessel. ANRF launched first 2 initiatives. IRENA's report 2023 record-breaking milestone for solar power generation. Railway triumphs over Indian Oil to clinch women's hockey title. World Day Against the Death Penalty, 10th of October. Also this day is celebrated as World Mental Health Day. 129 million Indian lives in extreme poverty. 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas to be held in Bhubaneswar. Vikram Devdutt appointed as the charge of coal secretary. ECI appoints Ajay Kumar Singh as Jharkhand's new Director General ahead of elections. And that's it in this session. I hope you all enjoyed the session. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, bye-bye. Take care, everyone, and see you soon.